Good afternoon, guys. It's your Miss Matile here again. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new, welcome to the channel. And if you are returning, we are happy to have you back here. So just stick around and let us just continue this beautiful journey together. So in today's episode, you guys, I intend to teach you about toxic behaviors that are considered normal in relationships and also in marriages, but in reality, they are not normal. Okay, so but before I explain everything else, I first want you to understand the following. I want you to understand that whenever you are thinking of relationships and marriages in your head, they appear so simple, easygoing, amazing, and beautiful. But I want you to understand today that that is not the reality in real life. In reality, that is not how relationships are. Relationships and marriages in reality, they are difficult to handle. They are not as easy and simple as you make them to appear in your head. So I want you to understand that for you to have a successful relationship or a successful marriage, you need to work hard for that marriage or for that relationship. The same way you work hard for your job. That is how you're supposed to work hard for your relationship or for your marriage if you want it to be successful. I want you to understand that all relationships, for them to be successful, they require hard works. They require people that are smart. They require people that have more knowledge on how to do them. Otherwise, if you just jump into them like that, then you are more likely to fail. Okay, so now if you understand that, let me now try to list the toxic behaviors that are considered normal in relationships and in marriages, but in reality they are not normal. Number one toxic behavior is that the expectation that you should respond to a message as soon as you see it. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you are in a relationship with your partner, in most cases, when you send them a text message, you expect them to respond to that message as soon as they see it. And you think that that is a normal way or it's a normal behavior of a relationship. I want to make you understand today that that is a toxic behavior. It's not a right thing to do, because you need to understand that people have life to live. People have things to do, and they cannot always have their phones in their hands. So you cannot expect them to respond to your text message as soon as they see it. It's a toxic behavior. You need to drop that. Okay? So, the next toxic behavior that is considered normal in relationships and also in marriages is that worrying about our partner's problems. So, in other words, I mean, if you are in a relationship or in a marriage and your spouse have their own personal problems, society conditioned you to say when they have their own personal problems, you should also worry about them, about their personal problems. I want to make you understand today that that is a toxic behavior. That is not an effective way to show love to your spouse or to your partner. You cannot do life for them. They need to do their own lives and you need to do yours. You cannot take their problems to become your problems. It's not an effective way to show love to your spouse. It's a toxic behavior. Our society conditioned us to say worrying about our partner's problem, it's a sign of showing how much you love them. But I want to make you understand today that that is not a right way or an effective way to show love to your spouse. Of course, I understand that it's very difficult for us to see our loved ones struggling and having some problems. But you got to understand that you cannot do life for them. You cannot live their lives for them. They need to experience their own personal problems so that they will be able to grow from their problems. They need to learn how to solve their personal problems on their own. And you should just be there giving them support. But you stressing and worrying and worrying about their personal problems, that is not an effective way to show love. It's toxic. You need to allow your loved ones to experience. Each of us, we need to live this life. And I told you in other videos to say life means you will have some good things that will happen to you, and you will have some bad stuff that will happen to you. And none of us will do life for our loved ones. Each of us, we need to do our own life. Each of us will have to experience our own personal problems, and we need to deal with them. So our spouse or our loved ones, they should just there to provide support, but they should not overwork themselves to stress and worry too much about our personal problems. It's not an effective way to show love. You got to understand that. It's toxic if you are doing that. All right. So my next point that I consider a toxic behavior is that if you are in a relationship with your partner and they are telling you that they cannot live without you, such a person is a dangerous person to do a relationship with, because they are more likely to abuse you with their emotional needs. That means that they cannot be happy without you. And that is toxic. That is, it's not You cannot be responsible for someone's happiness. They need to have their own life going on. They need to be able to create their own happiness. If you are in a relationship and that person is telling you they cannot live without you, you mean the whole world to them, that is a toxic behavior. You do not want to live with a person who will only be getting their everything from you. All the emotional needs that they will have, they are expecting you to fulfill them. That is not the right way to do relationships. I told you in other video to say, even if you come together to do a marriage or a relationship, both of you need to continue to enjoy your hobbies outside your relationship or outside your marriage. Both of you need to have your own life going on. You may be going out with your girlfriends, or him may be going out with the boyfriends. And I'm not saying people should now have a lot of friends that at the end of the day will ruin their marriage or their relationship. You can choose any hobby. All of us, we have hobbies. Maybe you have even a hobby to watch sport, or maybe to play soccer, or whatever it is. Just don't abuse your spouse or your partner for all your emotional need. You need to be, even if you are doing a relationship or a marriage, you need to be independent. Then you can only come together with this one common goal of doing your relationship or of doing your marriage. But both of you need to have some sort of your own life going on. A life that you enjoy. Do not go there and abuse your spouse or your partner with all your emotional needs. It's toxic. It's not a right way to do relationships and marriages. Okay. Avoid marrying or dating people who cannot stay alone, even for an hour, or even for a day without them being surrounded by people. If you date or marry a person that always need company, always they need to have friends, always they need some people to surround them, just understand that there is something within them that is not complete. And they only feel complete whenever they are among other people. They cannot be alone even for an hour or even for a week without seeing people. If you marry or date such a person, they are more likely to abuse you with their emotional need. If they are constantly they are forever with friends, they are forever partying, such people, they are not complete. There are some things within them that are not fully completed yet. That's why they are always looking for friends. They are always looking for a company. They cannot stay on their own. Such people abuses others with their emotional need. If you marry them or if you date them, those are the type of people that will want to be on the phone with you all the time. They will want to be texting with you all the time. They won't give you your alone time. They will always want to be accompanied by you. And you don't want to live life like that. Each of us, even if we are dating or even if we are in a marriage, we deserve our own alone time. I have seen couples that even sometimes they will choose even to sleep in different rooms just for a day, just for them to have their own alone time. They will just agree they will just agree to say, this is time for our alone time. Today I am sleeping in this room, you are sleeping in this room. I also have seen couples that live together in the same house, but they set apart their alone time, even during the day. One can be in a bedroom, the other one is in a sitting room. But it does not mean that they are angry to each other. They just need a few hours of their alone time. If you are such in a relationship, you are in a healthy relationship like that. Okay. So the other toxic behavior is jealous. If you are in a relationship or in a marriage and your spouse or your partner is a jealous type, in most cases, people think whenever they are jealous, they think it's a sign of showing love to their spouse or to their partner. But being jealous, it's not a sign of showing love. It's toxic. Why would you be in an insecure relationship or in an insecure marriage? Why did you choose to be in an insecure relationship in the first place? So I want you to understand, Kusha, jealous, it's not an effective way to show love. I have seen that society conditioned people to say, if you are now jealous over your husband or over your partner, and now you are controlling them, who they should talk to and who they should not talk to, and you are checking their phones and all these toxic behaviors, they think when they are doing that, it's a sign of showing love. I want to make you understand that that is a toxic behavior. It's not an effective way to show love to your spouse. It's not the right thing to do. You're supposed not to be in an insecure relationship or in an insecure marriage in the first place. You're supposed not to do that to yourself. I taught you in other videos to say, if you feel insecure in a relationship or in a marriage, you're supposed not to do it. You're supposed not to do it at all. If you cannot trust that person 100%, if you cannot trust each other 100%, then don't go ahead and do a relationship and later on it will lead to a marriage. If you do like that, it will be a complicated marriage. I want people to understand that 99% of things that happen to you, they depend on or they result on how you treat yourself, how you respect yourself, how you value yourself. Because if you respect yourself and you value yourself enough, you wouldn't let yourself to be in an insecure relationship. You will know what you want clearly and what you deserve, and anything that is not that, then you will completely say no to that. Then you won't have problems. So I just want you to understand, Gusha, everything that happens to you in this life, it all resulted on how you treat yourself, how you value yourself, and how you respect yourself. Nothing that happens to you is a fault of other people. It all has to do with you because you are the one that allowed it by treating yourself poorly, by not respecting yourself. Because if you value yourself, if you respect yourself, you will never let yourself to be in a relationship where you will be insecure. You will never let yourself to be in a relationship where you are not respected or valued. So just understand now today, Gusha, everything that happened to you in this life, you are 100% responsible for that, because you are the one that allow it to happen to you by the way you treat yourself. Okay. So the next toxic behavior that are considered normal in relationships and marriages, but in reality they are not normal, is that it's when there are some people that think that when they are in a relationship and they are texting their partners, let's say they text them a first message and they did not respond, they will go ahead and send the second one and send the third one, fourth, fifth, until they become 10. Or if they were calling their partners and their partners are not responding, they will make a first call, and if they do not respond, they will go ahead and make a second one, third, fourth, and the partner will find 30 missed calls. Some people think that that is love. But I want to make you understand today that that is a toxic behavior. You cannot send somebody 30 messages. You cannot call someone 30 times. You are toxic like that. It's not an effective way to show love. If you send one text message and they are not responding, that means that it can only mean two things. It's either they don't want to respond to you, or maybe they are busy, or they don't have the phone in their hand. And you calling more than 2 times, it cannot make them to respond to you. So one text message or one missed call, it's enough. They will find that message or they will find that missed call on their phone. And if they see it, they will respond if they want to. And if they did not respond, that means that perhaps they don't want to respond to you. And that is okay. You should just let them be. So I want you to understand today that sending 30 messages and calling 30 times, it's not a sign of showing love to your spouse or to your partner. It's a toxic behavior and you need to drop it. Okay? So, yeah. So, my last point of which I regard as a toxic behavior that is considered normal in relationships and marriages, but in reality it's not, is that it's a control nature. If your partner is controlling, what do I mean by that? There are some people that whenever they get into a relationship or into a marriage, their spouse will control what they should put on, or in other words, what they should dress, how they should dress. They will control their finances. Where did he send the money to? What did he use the money? What did he buy? And they will even control who they should talk to, who they should not talk to. I want to make you understand today that that is a toxic behavior. Nobody in this life would want to live like that. When you are controlling them like that, they will be frustrated. Nobody would want to live. Marriage is a lifetime thing. And now if you are in that marriage and your partner has that control nature, and they are controlling your finance, how much you withdraw, how much you spend, who you send the money to, who, and all this stuff. What should you dress and what you should not dress, who you should talk to and who you should not talk to. Nobody wants to live life like that for the rest of their lives. Let people be free. I taught you in other video to say, your partner is an adult. It's not a child. And if they are adults, they are more likely to know what they are doing. You controlling them, it cannot change their behavior. It cannot change what they want to do with their money, or how they want to dress, or how they want to live their lives. It can only frustrate them, and if they are frustrated, it will bring tension in your marriage. And if there is tension, then later on it will be a messy marriage, and at the end of the day, it will even cause you to divorce. So let people be free for as long as their behavior or whatever they are doing with their lives are not causing harm to your body, or they are not disrespecting the marriage or disrespecting you. So if they are not disrespecting you, if they are not disrespecting the marriage, let them be free. Okay. So, yeah. The other thing that I want you to understand is that, of course, I understand that we love our partner or our spouse. But it's important that you have an emotional boundary for your spouse or for your partner. Some people, you will marry them and they will create their own dramas in their own lives, and they will have a lot of personal problems, and they will now drag you into their dramas. So whenever you are going to relationships and marriages, you need to have emotional boundaries for your spouse or for your partner. You need to set a boundary to say, I will participate in their dramas or in their chaosness of their lives to this extent. But if it gets to this, know when to stop. So many people like to create their own personal dramas in their own personal life. And you now as a spouse, because you were conditioned by the society to say, to show love, you need to worry or to be stressed about your spouse problems also. Because you were taught like that, when you are going to these marriages and relationship, you will be there now, and you will be there overworking yourself, and you will be trapped in their own personal dramas that they created, and you will end up even being emotionally drained. So it's very important that you set emotional boundary for your loved ones. Know when to show your support and know when to stop. Especially, let me give you an example. For example, if you are in a marriage and your spouse is abusing substances like alcohol and drugs, and maybe you tried to help here and they are not changing. So many people, what they do, they will let themselves to be emotionally drained and emotionally overworked by their spouse's problems, while they can clearly see that there is no hope there. Then now they created their own mess and their own chaosness in their lives. Then they will drag you into their personal lives. You will be overworked and you will be emotionally drained if you are not careful enough. And I just want you to get me very well. I'm not saying you should not show support to your spouse, but I just want to make you understand, to say, know when to give support and know when to stop, so that you should not mess your life up just because your spouse are busy messing up theirs. Okay, so I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. I hope you have learned something, and I hope you will date in the right way. So do have a great day, and I hope to see you on my next video. So goodbye.